I promised that I would make a video every week, or at least try to do so, due to my very busy schedule. And I didn't think that it would come down to this. I'm a trans woman, as many of you may know. And that means that I'm biologically male, transitioning to female. I'm a work in progress. And there are advantages and disadvantages to being trans, to being biologically male. And a lot of the advantages that come into play involve height, strength, greater bone mass, blood supply, richer blood supply. I can take in more oxygen. And it's just not fair if I were, say, to compete against a biological female. If I were to train like any other biological female, there's a strong chance that I would come out on top. And I haven't had testosterone in my system for a very long time. I am definitely stronger. There are girls that I work around, biological females, who do have a greater muscle composition, and yet I'm still stronger. I think that's interesting. And sometimes it gives me a very dysphoric feeling, knowing that I'm still stronger, that there's nothing I can really do. But this video isn't about me. It's about trans athletes. It's about those who would use their strengths, their advantages over biological females. There is a bill that is set to hit the floor on Monday in the state of Arizona. It's called HB 2706. It was created by Nancy Barto, Representative Barto, and essentially it is protecting women's rights. It is preserving the rights for biological females to compete against biological females and not have to face off against biological males. It's not just unfair, it's unsportsmanlike to force a girl to compete with a biological male. It's just not right. So this bill has my support. And I actually am coming here to urge you to support this bill as well. So if you live in the state of Arizona, and if you are a gender critical feminist, if you're a rational LGBT, especially if you're trans, we need you. We need your help. We need you to show support for Representative Barto in this bill. And here, let me help you out, if you're willing. Let me give you her number. It's 602-926-5766. I've already called her. I've left many messages with her secretary. I have done everything I can. I've tried to set up appointments where we can actually talk in person, maybe even provide testimony, and maybe something will come of that. But she needs my help. She needs everybody's help, because I know that the TRAs, the trans rights lobby, is actually protesting against her. They've actually come down to the Capitol to protest what they think is an injustice, but in reality is the exact opposite. It's about righting a wrong. Now, I know what some of you will say. Some of you will say that, well, it's no big deal, because what about those that transition early? If they transition prepubescently, it should be a non-issue. That's not necessarily true. Some of the advantages that a biological male will have will still develop before they hit puberty, well before they hit puberty. And even so, even if that's not the case, we're talking about experimenting on children. Now, as some of you may know, hopefully a lot of you know by now, a whopping percentage, something like 70% plus of young kids who exhibit gender dysphoria end up growing out of it, and most just end up living as gay or lesbian. And so the argument is that if you were to encourage their transition and put them on hormone blockers, they'll never get past that phase in their life, and they'll never really reach their true potential. And essentially, it is gay and lesbian erasure. Many even argue that it's almost like a conversion therapy, because some are worried that they're going to have gay or lesbian children, and in some way this rights that. It prevents them from having to deal with that, because maybe then their kid will be straight when they grow up. It's bizarre, it's stupid, and most importantly, it's irresponsible, it's unethical. We don't know what the effects are going to be long term for kids that are on puberty blockers. What we do know is that there are complications from preventing puberty, especially for those who want to have surgery later on down the line. And in the case of Jazz, some of you may know this person, transitioned very, very young, was on reality TV, and basically had to have very complicated surgery just to make up for the lack of material. So it is safer just to wait. It's also more ethical just to wait. To wait to see if the gender dysphoria persists. So no, kids should not be allowed to compete even if they're on hormone blockers, because that's another issue altogether that really should be stopped. It's disgusting, it's dangerous, and I'm not going to support that. So basically, you get the message. HB 2706 in the state of Arizona. If you live in this state, or you know someone who lives in this state who would support this bill, please share this video. Thank you for your time.